To 2017, okay. So a lot older. But with my first child, was the Thomas the Keith Shelley house?
Yes, it was
always.
She speaks and understands English, but obviously she's not bilingual.
Yeah.
Say that it was my great grandmother with her partner, my great grandmother being Isabel Cargill, and her partner being Anna Maria Babingtons, who had come to Rome on a grand tour trip and adored Rome, adored what was going on here. It was very busy. A lot of English, a big English community was living here at the time, poets and authors and writers and so on and so forth. And so they went back to England with this sort of, they'd left a piece of their hearts here in Rome. And one of the things that they'd noticed when they were here, that there was nowhere you could have tea. You could only buy it very occasionally and very rarely in pharmacies, and it was used as medicinal purposes. And so they thought, well, you know, we really would like to go back. How can we do it? How can we do it? And in the end, at a certain point, they said, right, this is it. We want to do it. And they just left England together with my great-grandmother's sister, who was with them as well. And they arrived in Rome and initially set up the tea rooms with they had £100 between the two of them. It was during the Second World War where my grandmother and my mother and my uncles were all stuck up in the north of Italy. Italy was divided in two, and they were up near Padova, in a place called Stra. And the tea rooms was entirely run the whole way through the war without having any sort of communication between the south of Italy and Rome and the north where my grandmother and my family were. And the tea rooms was totally run. The staff used to bring in their rations from home. And in fact, which is written also in the book, which we wrote for the 125th anniversary, there is a recipe which is called gli scones di guerra, the war scones, and therefore they used potato flour and various different ingredients, which obviously you couldn't find regular normal flour, to make these scones. And that was one of the incredible things. And the other thing is that being in English tea rooms and having Babington's English tea rooms written outside, it was open right the way through the war without closing a single day, except for the day in which the Allies actually came into Rome, and therefore there was shooting, and there was, you know, it was dangerous to go around, so the staff didn't open that day. The south, and they used to bring their rations from home to be able to prepare things here in the tea rooms.
Mettiti il rossetto.
Allora, lavorare qua è un'esperienza incredibile, devo dire, perché secondo me è un posto magico, è un posto ricco intrinseco di storia, di personaggi importanti che lo hanno frequentato da sempre e continuano tutt'oggi a venire. E io mi sento onorata, insomma, ho iniziato questa esperienza 8 anni fa e avevo 22 anni all'incirca, adesso ne ho 30. E è bello, molto bello, emozionante e cresciamo insieme, insomma, e questa è la cosa più bella.
I really like the atmosphere because it's very international, and I also like the location because it's like a very quiet and peaceful place. I came here to study, and I find it really good. I also love the tea. I took the Indian tea, which is my favorite tea.
Sono i tempi diversi, probabilmente in un coffee bar diciamo la consumazione è molto più veloce e credo che qui invece i tempi siano leggermente più lunghi e quindi un pochino più rilassanti, no? Per poter godere magari un dolce o un tè o un caffè magari.
Babingtons is an oasis of peace and tranquility in Piazza di Spagna, right in the heart of Rome. And for 125 years, it has been offering and serving British excellence, tea and cakes. And it has such a strong identity in the city. And I think it's a marvellous story as well. It started with two Victorian ladies who came over to Italy from the UK with £1 in their pockets, and thanks to their drive and their entrepreneurialism, they set up the tea rooms, which the family is still running today.